Welcome to the Teen Nation Talk Show, where culture and entertainment lives. I'm your host, Sanaya Simone, and today we have some very special guests. But before we can get into that, let's hear a word from our sponsors. Welcome to the Teen Nation Talk Show. I'm your host, Sanaya Simone, and today we have a very special guest, Chandler Caver. Chandler, could you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, I'm Chandler Caver. I'm a 13-year-old basketball player.
That's so good. Okay, so what age did you start playing basketball?
I started dribbling when I was 3, and I was in a little league. I started a little league when I was 6.
So who inspired you to get started?
When I was little, I would always go to my uncle's high school basketball games, and before games, he would come outside and dribble with me.
So is that how you first got started?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your earliest basketball memory, like the best memory you have of your whole career?
When I was little, on one of my first basketball games, I scored 20 points, and all the parents were complaining, thinking I was older when I was really the youngest.
So they were thinking that you weren't supposed to be playing against their kids.
Yes.
That's so funny. Okay, so what team do you currently play for, and what is your position?
I currently play for Cy-Fair Premier. I currently play for Cy-Fair Premier 15U. I am a point guard.
Okay, so how is that experience like playing for that team?
I really like the experience because the facility has a really good exposure, and it gets me in front of all the eyes.
Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so I know you play AAU ball. Tell me what it's like traveling to tournaments and games and just being on the road.
It's really fun. It's really fun. Traveling with my teammates and having fun with them. I always enjoy spending time with them.
Okay, so what is your favorite basketball number to wear, on your jersey?
It's number 3. It's because when I was in 6th grade, I watched the Allen Iverson documentary, and ever since I wanted to wear number 3.
That's inspiring. So as a basketball player, what skills do you think are the most important? For example, dribbling. What do you think has got you this far?
I think it's selflessness, because when you play basketball, you have to be a team player. You can't just hog the ball all the time.
Yeah.
Pass it off.
I agree. And in my house, I hear about basketball all the time because my brother plays basketball, and we're always talking about different players who aren't team players and all of that. So I really understand where you're coming from for that one. So you come from an athletic family. Tell me about your family background in sports.
Oh, okay. So my dad, he's a retired NFL player. My mom was a track runner, and my grandpa was an Olympian track runner.
Oh wow, so how do you think that has inspired you to play basketball, or do you think it's had anything to do with you?
Yes, because watching them play, I always wanted to do something athletic watching them play.
So what is the best advice that you've gotten from any one of them?
Yeah, there's been a lot. Put your best effort. If this is something you really want to do, put your best effort into it, because you can get to so many places if you put your best effort into it.
I agree. So what does a typical practice day look like for you?
First, I wake up for school, basketball practice at 6:30, and then I go online school, and then I usually have training afterwards around 4, and some days around 7.
So how do you think COVID has affected your practice schedule?
It really hasn't affected it. I still been practicing how I usually do. Mm-hmm. It's just that I have to be more cautious while practicing.
So do you think you have more time to practice now, because you're online school, like you said, right?
Yes, since we get out of school earlier, online school, so I have more time to practice and work on all my skills for basketball.
Yeah, I think that's actually an advantage. I mean, I know it's so many crazy things going on, but I think that's kind of good for you. Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give to a female baller or any ball player?
if this is something you really want to do, you just have to put your best effort to it and put your mind to it, because you can reach so many things.
Yeah, and how did you know that you wanted to play basketball? Like, I know that you were inspired by people, but how did you know like that this was the sport for you?
When I started dribbling and when I started going to more of my uncle's games, I started looking at like the ball play, and I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
So what area do you think you've improved the most in?
Basketball IQ, because you have to know when to dictate the game and do certain stuff at the right time, and know how to pass the ball off and stuff like that.
So tell me some basketball IQ. Like, set it up in my head for me.
Alright, so say you're coming down the court and you're driving to the right, and there's your post player. There's a little spot where you can pass it. The ball is like this big, and you pass it to your post player on the block, and that's basketball IQ.
Okay, so who is your best player in your opinion?
I really like Kyrie Irving, because I like how he can pass the ball off and he can still go to the basket and get a point, stuff like that.
So what are your goals in life? Like after, because how old are you?
13.
13? So you're in middle school? So what are like your high school and college goals?
I would like to go to college for free, get a free scholarship, and get to the WNBA. Yeah.
So what are some steps that you think you have to take to get to the WNBA?
I have to start. I think I want to start like training more often, and working on my game and putting more effort into it, because I really think I can accomplish that if I do that.
Yeah. So how do you think that you can inspire younger girls who play basketball as well?
I really think I can inspire them by showing how much work I put into it and how much I train, and then they will get inspired to do that too.
Yeah, so what are some challenges that you think you've had to face, like with stereotypes of boys playing more sports than girls, or like what are some things that your friends say?
Some of my things that some of my friends say, they was like, girl basketball is not that serious. It's not, it's not that serious. It's not that hard. You're playing against middle schoolers and stuff like that. But I really think it's a really good sport to play for girls. So
what would you say to anyone who's like doubtful of girl basketball or girl sports in general?
Don't worry about what the stereotypes say. Don't worry about what anybody else says. Just worry on you and you'll be good.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you guys so much for watching the Teen Nation Talk Show. We'll be right back.
My name is Taylor Graham, and you're watching Teen Nation Talk Show on KM Vision 365.
Welcome back to the Teen Nation Talk Show. We've switched up our guests just a little bit this segment. So right now we have Mr. Quentin Caver. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Quentin Caver, and from Alabama, living here in Houston now.
Okay, so tell our viewers about your time playing sports. How did it all get started?
Well, I started playing sports when I was about 10 or 11. You know, I'm one of the oldest. I have 6 brothers, and we needed something to do to kind of like get rid of some of the energy we had, because you know we was in the house a lot. So I started playing basketball around that age.
Okay, so what was the experience like getting drafted in college to play professional football?
Oh, that was something I will never forget. I can still remember the day my mom, my dad, all of my brothers, my cousins came to Fayetteville, Arkansas on my draft day, and I can remember getting a phone call, and all my friends and family members was crying because they know how much work I put in to get to that point.
Yeah.
But coming into it, you don't know, that's when your work really starts. You know, getting drafted was an important thing for me and my family, but like I said, it's something I'll never forget.
Yeah. So getting from that point to playing basketball when you were 10, how did that start? Like, what is fill in the gap for me?
Well, basketball was my original first love for sports. You know, I always watched Michael Jordan and Joe Dumars and all those guys playing when I was coming up. I'm like, I want to be like those guys on TV. And all through high school, I played football and basketball, but I didn't know I was getting recruited for basketball because my high school coach had all of my recruitment letters.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll play football there. I didn't know I was getting recruited after I came back home.
Yeah. So what NFL team have you played on, and what was the experience like on each team?
My first couple of years I played with the Philadelphia Eagles. I was drafted there. Great experience, great group of guys. We didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but we made it to the NFC Championship my rookie year. Then I think again my second year. I left there, then I went to Kansas City Chiefs. I can say that's probably my most fun I had playing professionally because of the team that we had there. I played 4 years there with Kansas City, and my last season I played with Dallas.
So what was that team like? Like, why did you love it so much?
It was more like a family. You know,
Yeah.
we would hang out together. We would go to each other's homes. We would eat dinner together. Go bowling. You know, I love bowling, so we bowl once a week.
Are you a good bowler?
I think I'm pretty decent.
Okay. Okay, so what college did you end up going to?
Went to the University of Arkansas.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How did you get into the University of Arkansas?
Well, the coach that recruited me, his name was Joe Pate, I believe.
Okay.
And he used to come to my hometown all the time, sit with my mom's mom and my dad's mom. He would call them to make sure that I was doing okay.
Yeah.
And I originally wanted to go to Auburn when I came out of high school, but they fired their whole coaching staff right before, like, I believe, signing day. And I'm like, I don't want to go there now. I don't know any of the coaches. But, and so I decided to go to the University of Arkansas.
So was that your first goal, to go to school for football?
It was just to go to school, period.
Okay.
You know, coming from the background that I came from, a lot of people don't make it out. And my biggest thing was, I'm trying to show my younger brothers examples of, like, well, if you put the work into it, you as well can get out and do the things you want to do in life. So it was just getting out of Anniston, Alabama, and going to college.
Yeah, so what was like your original career choice, or did you have one?
At that time, our biggest thing was just, surviving. It wasn't more so thinking about what you want to do in the future. It was just surviving daily, trying to make sure you're doing the things you need to do and get out of the situation you're into.
Yeah, so I talked to your daughter, Chandler, earlier. So I asked her what is her favorite number to wear. What is your favorite number to wear?
Well, in football, it's kind of difficult because you have a choice from 1 to 99. So on every team that I played on, my number's always been different.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't really matter to you?
No.
Okay.
For basketball, I would probably say 23.
23?
Yeah.
Why?
Michael Jordan.
Okay, yeah. So although you and your daughter play different sports, what are some similarities that you see in both?
Between me and my daughter?
Yeah.
The one thing that I've noticed with my daughter Chandler is that her drive and her ambition to get better. Once you put in so much work and you reach a certain level, sometimes some people can tape off and not put in the work they need to. But like I tell Chandler every day, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You never stay in the same. So always work to get better. So that's one thing I say that we have similar, is just the drive and the effort.
So how do you think that you've influenced those character traits?
Just not giving her an option to fail,
Yeah.
not give up. Just making her make sure she continue to push.
So why is it important to you to dedicate time to your daughter's craft or what she enjoys?
Time is probably the most valuable thing that you can give your kids or anyone that you love. And growing up where I grew up, sometimes some people weren't there. And I said, once I become older and become a dad and a husband, I'm going to always put my time and effort to show them that I'm going to be here for you. So.
Yeah, I think that's great. So how do you think being an athlete yourself has made it easier to talk to your daughter or connect with her?
We relate. I can relate to a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I can explain different situations through sports. Not even about sports. It could be just life lessons, but I can actually explain to her, well, this is why you do this, or this is why you don't do this, with the sports. So, but it's great.
I think that's so good to tie that into real life lessons and sports, something that you both can relate to. So what advice would you give to someone that aspires to have a career in sports?
Don't give up. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. sometimes you're going to feel like you're not going to be able to do it. Just get up and do it anyway, because you build on those days.
I agree. Well, we'll be right back with the Teen Nation Talk Show.
Okay. My name is Wayne Davis. Thank you for watching Teen Nation on Cam Vision 365.
Welcome back to the Teen Nation Talk Show, and we're back with the daddy-daughter duo, Chandler and Mr. Quentin. Okay, so I have a question. So when you're playing sports, of course, you have to be fit. So how are you guys directing your diets, or how do you influence Chandler to direct her diet?
Well, we kind of been vegetarian the past 5 years, and I was telling her, your body is like a car. Can't put regular gasoline inside of a Porsche, so you have to put the right foods in your body, and she's taking to it pretty good.
Yeah. So on days that, because every day isn't great, sometimes we may be slacking. What is some motivation you think has helped you continue, or some things that your dad has encouraged you in?
One of my motivations are, he always tells me, when you do this stuff, think what you're gonna get out of it. Like, what are you gonna accomplish putting all this work in, and what are you gonna get from the future putting all this work in?
Yeah. So how are you managing your time with online school and playing sports?
I have a pretty good schedule. When I practice in the morning, I usually have 20 minutes before school starts, and school is from 9 to 2:30, and then I have probably like an hour or two before I have training after school, so I have a little bit of a breaks, and I use those breaks usually to do some homework or stuff like that.
Yeah. So are you good at time management? Because I know that I'm okay, but I'm not that good.
I'm decent.
Is she good at it?
I'm decent. Yes, I'm decent
You're
at
getting
it.
better.
So what is some things that you think that she needs to work on in time management?
I want probably just using more of a schedule, like writing stuff down. Because once she gets going, she gets it done. It's just remembering to do it. So if you just jot some stuff down there once in a while, like, this is what I need to do, you'll be okay.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so what are some steps that you're going to take to become better overall as a basketball player?
Get better at time management, like you said, and just put more work in. Just nothing else really about that.
So what would you say your best skill is in the sport?
I'm not very selfish with the ball. I pass it off and make the team look good as a whole.
Yeah.
One whole. So I'm really good at passing the ball.
So what would you say has been like your best game this season? I know that's a hard question.
I think that when I played this past weekend, I was good at scoring, and I was good at passing the ball and giving my other teammates opportunities to score the ball. So.
Okay, so I have one more question. So what is your favorite thing about playing basketball?
I really like playing with my teammates because when I play, I always feel safe on the court. I always feel like I'm safe and nothing can ever hurt me when I'm playing on the court.
So would you say basketball is like something you do like when you're mad, when you're happy, like just to let off energy?
I like to go shoot when I'm mad, or like when I'm angry. I like to go shoot when I'm mad.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to get into a game. So the game is called Who's Most Likely To, okay? And basically you guys will point to each other. So I'll ask a question and you guys will say who is most likely to do that, okay? Okay, so I wrote a few questions down on my phone. I'm excited for this. Okay, so are y'all ready? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Who's most likely to wake up earliest? Why?
Because I like to sleep in.
Yes.
So you're lazy?
Yeah.
Okay, who's most likely to forget someone's birthday? Really?
Yeah.
I thought that it would be you.
No, he has a bad memory.
So you have to remind him everything?
Yes, she does.
Okay. Who's most likely to laugh at the wrong moment? Yeah. Have you done that a lot?
All the time.
Okay, who's most likely to take more selfies? Yeah, of course. Of course.
Teenager.
Yeah, the teenager. Okay, who's most likely to want a pet? Okay. And who is most likely to cheat on their diet? Yeah. And you're the athlete. You're not supposed to be doing that. Okay.
She's going to cheat a little bit when she
Just a
can.
little bit.
So, what is your favorite cheat snack?
Anything with cheese on it.
Oh my.
Anything with cheese on it.
Okay. Who is most likely to always be hungry and snacking? Yeah, I can believe it. Because you let out so much energy during the day. I mean, that's a good excuse. Yeah. Okay. Who's most likely to be most impatient?
Probably both.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's most likely to skip a workout? How?
I mean, some days I just don't be feeling like it, but I still do it. I just don't feel like it.
You know, I tell you that she puts in a lot of work, and she's missed a lot of like stuff with her friends because she's training. So
Yeah.
she can afford to miss a couple.
A couple, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
Only like 3, maybe.
Okay, so who's most likely to do like something sentimental for the other, like cook breakfast or something like that?
Yeah.
Why not you?
I mean, I cook breakfast sometimes.
She has been cooking breakfast.
Okay.
I've been cooking breakfast.
So what are you good at making?
Eggs.
Eggs?
Eggs and toast. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's like your secret spice?
Tony Satchers.
I agree. I love it on every single thing.
Yes, it's so good.
Okay, well, I think this game went well, okay? Thank you guys so much for being a part of the Teen Nation Talk Show, and I really hope that everything that you want comes to you and you get that scholarship for basketball, and I can't wait to see how everything goes. So just let us know your social media handles or how our viewers can find you and contact you.
On Instagram, my name is Chandler Caver3.
Okay.
So no spaces, just Chandler Caver3, Caver.
I think it's the same on Twitter too.
Yes, it's the same for Twitter. Twitter is Chandler Caver3 also.
And are there any games that we should be looking for?
We
Not.
got a game coming up Thursday.
Oh, for basketball, like school ball? I have a basketball game Thursday. I think it's away at McCullough, and I will try to post some highlights from that game on my Instagram.
Okay, well, make sure that you guys check that out. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see more from you, Chandler.
Thanks for having us.
We'll be right back with the Teen Nation Talk Show. Does not care about your age, ethnicity, background, or any health conditions. So, protect yourself while protecting others. Mask up, Houston.
2, go.
Hi, my name is Serenity Wilkerson. I go to Westbury High School. I am a sophomore, and I am on the Westbury Blue Diamonds dance team, and you are watching the Teen Nation Talk Show.
Welcome back to the Teen Nation Talk Show. Thank you guys so much for watching the Teen Nation Talk Show. This is an amazing interview. And remember, to find out how you can be on our show, go to our website at teennationtalkshow.com. See you next time.